Here we go, another week, warm up with Rivalry, and it's conference championship week. This week it's gonna make or break a lot of teams from getting in the big show, making the playoffs. When you think about USC, obviously what the SEC title game means. Man, what's the thoughts of last week? Recap, the Iron Bowl, first black head coach to ever coach in the Iron Bowl, Cadillac Williams. Coming in off of what he, had to overcome this season. How do we think he fared against Nick Saban? Probably the best coach to ever coach the game of football, in my opinion, man. What's our thoughts?
Man, I'm proud, man. I'm proud of that. To be honest, man. He did what he could, what he had in a short period of time. To be honest, I wish we could have at least went 3-1, got that Mississippi State game. I know it came down to overtime. I felt we still should have won the game. I know a lot was going on that week. Just got in, coach just left, so a lot of moving parts, man. And they held it together and almost came out with a W on the road in the SEC. Um, all the other wins after that were great wins. He should have won them. But that Bama one, I think we came out with a great game plan, man. He kept the ball in his playmakers' hands, which would be Robbie Anderson, Tank Bigsby, and Hunter. Uh, we got to find some more playmakers, period. Robbie has to get developed. He has to find more of a passing game. He already showed he's spectacular with the run. He can make plays with his feet, but you got to have that dynamic to pass the ball because people just gonna start loading the box, man. Really interested to see how he use them, how he develops them. But the keep going on that, man. I'm very proud of him, man. I'm glad we retained him. I wish he would have got his shot at being a coach. Now I know that was far fetched, that being Auburn, but I think he did well, man. He gets a pat on the back from me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. I'm proud of him, man. I want to see more, honestly. Be honest. I want to see more. Wish I could see him as the head guy on the sideline. What you think, Bill?
man, I think he did a great job. And I think even more so, like he was saying, man, as black young black men growing up, we don't have those visions. It's for whatever reason, it's cultivated, and we kind of brainwashed to believe that we just position coaches, or we just can only achieve a certain level as far as when they get the coach. Like he never had that dream or manifested of being a head coach at an SEC school. You know what I'm saying? We've had some guys do. Sumlin's been a black SEC head coach, but you got some guys out there now. Might be like 9 or 10 of them in college football at the big stage. But I think he's opened up a so to say a new door, like showing the even younger generation that it is possible, even whether it's a short period of time or not. We need to start, opening our minds and saying, why not us? You know what I'm saying? Like too far always say, why not us? You know what I'm saying? Why not now? You know what I'm saying? So I think he inspired a lot of people, man, just seeing his passion and his energy on the sideline. I think he inspired a lot of people, man. And he probably don't even know it, but he's created a fan base way bigger than Auburn, man. Way bigger than Auburn. So you got to tip your hat to Lack at what he did in such a short period of time, man.
Yes, sir. I know there's a lot of us pulling for him, so keep
Absolutely.
that on the side.
Mm. Well, fellas, man, I say I'm proud of Lack, man. Just saying, like when he first came in and everything, and knowing what type of cat he is, and what I mean by that is he's very quiet. He don't really talk about too much that he can't control. He don't sit there and just go with the pack. He sit there and he really like analyze situations. Just he be to himself, and just seeing that him in that seat of a head coach position, man, and I am really, really proud of him, man. And I say he showed a lot of growth and development on that end. He's showing that he can lead a program and he can get those kids to buy into his dream, into what his vision is. And man, I think Cardinal Cadillac Williams will be a head coach in the near future, just based off of the work and effort and stuff like that that he showed at Auburn.
Man, what do we think about it? Like, when you talk about experience, a lot of people say, okay, he doesn't have the coaching experience. What's more important? We all played the game. We know what it takes to motivate us, to prepare us. Is it experience or is it leadership? Again, I'll kick it off. I think it's more about who's leading the program. We see now with zero coaching experience, him just knowing the game of football. They came into the Bama game with the offensive plan. Um, I think they executed the best that they could. You know what I'm saying? I think we know it's about leadership. My opinion, we know the type of guys that we want to lead us as head coaches. Why don't they give us what the players want? Because right now you have guys saying, okay, we're happy, we're ready to work for you, whatever the case is. But deep down inside as players, what type of man do we want to lead us? You know what I'm saying? And I think they would have all went in a different direction, in my opinion. Any thoughts there?
Man, I think if Lat would have walked into that team meeting next day, they would have been like, your next new head coach, and Lat would have walked in, I think them boys would have went ballistic, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, yeah, it's official. Like, I'm gonna fight hard for this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let him fail. I think that's an aspect we missing, man. I know, some guys are hyped about Hugh Freeze, his track record, offense and stuff, but I just think it would have been a different energy around the program, bro, with Lat as, leader, with that short amount of time he has. The only way to get experience is to get the job.
Yeah, man. I think with that and the way that it unfolded, like you said, with leadership, but we've been a part of the culture. We know how things work. You know what I'm saying? So we know that they weren't gonna sort of say do what we wanted or the players wanted, right? That's not what it's about there. Even though football funds the whole school, and that's most schools across the country, and the players should have a say in that, and it should be who we want. But that's not the culture. That's not the way things work. It's the boosters and who's putting the money here to bring in this coach and how much experience does he have. They looking at the what you say, it's coach talk, or they're looking at the resume on the paper when that really essentially it don't mean nothing. It do, but it don't when you got somebody that's played the game, that can relate to the players, and knows what it takes to win those trenches versus Joe, who his daddy best friend was in a position to put him on. Now he's here coaching us, and he never played a snap in his life. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way it's been. That's how it's continuing to go, and hopefully at some point that changes, man. But we knew that was gonna happen. That's why we said, man, it would have been good. Man, we hope. But at the end of the day, we know how the culture is, and we know who the people in power are, and we know what they was gonna do.
Amen to that, brother. Fellas, man, more and more the leadership and just being the former being a coach, having experience, man. I think you kind of have got to, in a way, kind of have both in a way. You look at the recent trend with Jeff Saturday right now, the Colts, guys like that, they'll had the position handed to him and everything, but people always thought that he was gonna fail miserably and everything. But actually, the Colts look better in these past 3 games than they look all year. And he didn't have any quote unquote experience, but in a way, it kind of like double dips in a way because of you being a former player, you being and you seeing how it is, you living it day in and day out. True enough, watching the film and chopping the film and putting those hours in and stuff like that. But you are doing some type of film watch yourself by studying the game and doing that in the amount of time that you invest in it. And guys, man, what I see in that is you pretty much grooming him to being a coach. So that's why I'm more leaning toward more leadership also. Because, man, if you can lead someone, man, and get these guys going and marching the same beat, marching to the same beat, same direction, man, look, you got something special, man. And right now, if we would have had Cardinal Cadillac Williams, I don't know why I keep wanting to say Cadillac first, but I think we would have had some special at Auburn.
Man, it's frustrating, man. You had something smooth?
Man, I was gonna say, what if we just got rid of Harsin at the Penn State game, and we made a decision at quarterback to either go with Robbie or Finley? it was just so much uncertainty, man. And I just feel like we would have said, hey, this is what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we would have won more games. I feel like we would have beat LSU. We would have beat Arkansas. We would have played Georgia a little bit closer, man. You know what I'm saying? Once we found our identity, I don't think we had our identity all year until Black got a head coach.
No, we didn't though, man. We didn't. And like kids say, like playing, being in those situations, that's experience. Like why don't that count? Like he played. We lined up in this game. We were in those film rooms. We did the workouts. We put that. Why doesn't that count for experience? Why doesn't that go? Why doesn't that go unnoticed? You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't that leadership count for something when you've been in those big games, when you've helped beat Alabama 6 times in a row? Why doesn't that count? You can get somebody who's coached at Liberty or whatever have you, and they won a couple games. Say, hey, this is the guy we want right here. You know what I'm saying? Why doesn't that count? That's the issue.
I think something you said a few weeks ago, because they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like we just talked about that. Because how critical is it if Auburn makes the decision to not surround Hugh with a Cadillac or with the guys that we know they're going to allow to be surrounded with the program? If you don't have those guys around, there is no program right now. And who knows what the next 4 or 5 years hold if you don't keep Cadillac. Again, man, Auburn fan through and through, man. We know we bleed orange and blue, but I don't know if this is the answer. We all talked about it a few weeks ago. We said, will Auburn's AD blow this next hire? And we all agreed and said yes. Again, want the best for our guys, but from a leadership standpoint, man, we missed an opportunity, I feel like, to make history and to do great things and keep the program rolling. We'll see. We still got those guys around and they're bought in. A quote from Cadillac, man. He said, he's disappointed, but he's not upset. I think that says a lot. You know, he's disappointed that he did not get that head coaching job and that opportunity at his former school. But he's not upset because he's still there. He's still getting to fulfill his dream and lead these guys. So, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. That goes back to everything we just said, though. Like, you know, he's disappointed because he would have liked the opportunity. He's not upset because he knew that it wasn't gonna happen. He know the culture. He know the way the people work around us. So that's what I take.
Yeah.
Man,
it's gonna be very interesting.
They got exactly what they wanted, man. You know, that is, they got Hugh, but they had Lack come in for them couple of weeks, man, and made sure the ship stayed straight, man, and made sure it didn't sink or nothing. Got a couple guys up and everything like that. That recruiting class now is looking at least better than what it was at the beginning. They got exactly what they wanted, man. And but at the end of the day, yep, they did.
They used them to keep it afloat.
Yep. To save face on that, man. That's why I am so proud of Cadillac. Right there, man.
Big love.
Yeah, man. And hey, as a fan, you know what I'm saying? Who else could have done it? You know, it was perfect for that role. And they knew it. They knew who could fit into that position right then and somehow keep us afloat. But hey, man, we'll see. Like Smooth said, very interesting to see where the program goes. But I tell you one thing, I'm definitely more confident coming from this offseason versus last offseason. As Smooth just mentioned, we went into week 3. We didn't know who our quarterback was. We will not be in that situation with this new staff, I don't think. I think they'll make decisions. They'll be disciplined. You know, we'll just see. We'll see what type of defensive staff they put around them. I think offensively we'll be able to score. I think we all trust Robbie right now. Or I'm going to say trust him, but athleticism. Like, we know he can play some ball. You know what I'm saying? Iron Bowl is not and at Tuscaloosa is not an easy place to play at, man. And he laid it all on the line. He's got some fire to him. We've seen it on the sidelines this year. He's got to control it and grow. I think he's young, so he'll grow up. He'll get more mature and really lead the guys the way they need to. So I'm excited, man. But I'll take what Lack said, bro. Shit, I'm disappointed too.
Absolutely, man.
Utah USC, bro. Conference championship week, man. Predictions. It's the rematch, right?
Rematch.
Definitely a rematch, man.
last time, what was the score? USC lost by 1 point.
Yep.
End of the game. They whooped them the whole game. The game 60 minutes, they beat them for 59 minutes. I think USC proves a point this game, man. They're not gonna play around with them. They know they gotta win this to get in the playoffs. I think they come out and prove a point. 14.
Cool.
Man, I'll go. There was some factors in. I know Ken highlighted it. I talked about it a little bit. That tight end that Utah had, Kincaid, man, he had a huge night. And USC lost one of their top receivers. I'm not sure if it was Addison or the number 4. One of those guys went down, so that kind of hindered them a little bit. And Utah had a lot to play for, man. You know, they had 2 fallen teammates. They were on a high, and they went for it. They went for a 2-point conversion, you know, to put the game away. So I think USC comes back with something to prove. I don't think their defense is good enough to win it all, but I do think they get past Utah this week. I'm going 10. I'm going by 10.
Yeah. I'll piggyback. I'm with y'all, bro. I think USC finds a way to win the game. I like how they've been looking last few weeks, man. So I'll take USC by 3. I think it's gonna be a close one again. Utah always fights, bro. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the program and they stay with some tough guys that's just gonna stay in the game, and play the right way. Won't let penalties beat them. But I think USC will squeak away somehow.
Fellas, I pretty much agree with everything y'all guys say, man. Only one thing to give me a little cause to pause with it is the fact that, and that's why I'm picking USC. Normally, I would have picked Utah, but I'm picking USC, man, because USC got the only loss against Utah. Do you know how hard it is to beat a team twice?
Mm-hmm.
To beat them twice, no matter what the score is, if their first game and everything before that. I'm going USC, man. I'm going USC by a touchdown.
Hey,
I also say this: if USC wins this game, I think Caleb Williams wins the Heisman.
You know it.
Yeah,
that's why I say 14. You know it. He struck the Heisman pole last game.
Yeah,
you ready? You got to have a big game.
Yeah, I think old boy gave it to him too. Well, you got it took from him because the way he played at Ohio State, yeah. He got that took from him. I can't say he gave it to him.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Hey,
Stroud.
Even more than revenge, bro. How much is the playoff conversation right now in the program?
True. You know that's absolutely, man. They got a lot of stake. A lot at
stake, man. So I'm rolling with Lincoln, man.
I like it. All right. Number 3 TCU, man, versus number 10.
This is the matchup.
K-State, baby.
This is the matchup.
Man, what we thinking? That I definitely think it's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I think it's gonna be a fun one, man. But man, Low got me on this TCU bandwagon a few weeks ago, man, and I just can't. Every time I watch them, man, I start to like them even more. So I'm taking TCU, man. I take them again, knowing that, hey, we win this game, we're in the playoffs, we got a chance to win it all. I don't see K-State getting in the way right now, man. I'm taking TCU by 14. Big win.
Oh, nah. I ain't seen much of TCU this year, man, but I have seen Kansas State, man. They got a running back, about 5 foot nothing, gets off. Gets off, man. I'm telling you, man, it will be a shootout, like you said, but I'm going to take the underdog. I'm going to take Kansas State. I'm going to tell you why. Kansas State go win, they go slide Bama right back into the playoff. This is how it's going to play out. I'm telling you. K-State for the dub. Man. I don't know how many points, but they got the dub.
Man. Smooth beat me to it, man. That's all I was going to go for my upset, man. TCU, they found ways to win. I think they got the best receiver in college football this year. With what's that kid's name? Miller. I think Miller's the best wide receiver in college football this year. They playing with a backup quarterback in Duggan. He wasn't a starter to start the year. He's a backup. He's played lights out. K-State got 2 quarterbacks. They were in a 2-quarterback system, man. And then they got that little running back. Remind you of Darren Sproles. Put you in the mind frame of Darren Sproles. Little guy back there, you can barely see him. And when he get out of there, it's hard to catch him, man. And like you said, they run the ball, man. TCU barely got by these guys the first time. Kenny, you just alluded to it. It's
What he
hard
said.
to beat a team twice. So I get K-State the upset, man. I'm going by Tug, man.
Ken finna say the same thing.
It's the same thing, bro. I promise you, man. I do not have no faith in TCU right now, man. No, I'm with Kansas State, man. Look, don't forget TCU is TCU. They always gonna be front runner. They're gonna look good and nice at the end, but hey, they always gonna let you down when it counts.
Hey, this gonna be a fun one, man.
Yes, sir.
I see y'all like their run game. Y'all like K-State, man. It's gonna be a fun. What time they play?
That game is at 12.
All right.
ABC. Yeah.
What a way to start the day. Hey,
I'm locked in.
yeah, this next one, we got the SEC. Man, I don't even want to say showdown because I think it's a little
You
bit.
can't
I think
anymore.
it's a little bit less exciting with the last week's loss to Texas A&M, man. But any given Saturday, we talked about that, man. Especially in the SEC, we know what time it is. LSU versus Georgia. For the SEC championship in Atlanta. We know UGA gonna come out. The fans gonna come out. It's gonna be a home game for them, man.
Home game. Yep.
I'm taking UGA. Man, I feel like every time they play in the dome, I don't know why, it's a different energy from them boys, man. I don't know if I'm just seeing stuff, but I feel like when they in that dome, it's an energy that can't be matched. And I think right now, man, they got a system, they got a proven quarterback, one of the best tight ends in the country. I'm taking UGA. I don't know if LSU gonna be able to compete here, man. I hope so. But I'm taking UGA, man.
Same. I'm gonna roll with UGA, but not in a blowout, man. They've shown that they are the best team in the nation, but they haven't shown that they're not unbeatable. They've been in a lot more dog fights than you expected. And I think, LSU really don't have much to play for, man. Let's go out here and really try to mess up this college playoff, man. I think they're gonna come out, play hard. They definitely practicing hard. They just came off a loss, like you said, to Texas A&M. And I know Brian Kelly want to have something to salvage the season. Why not? Let's mess this college football playoff up a little bit. So I'm gonna roll with Georgia, but in a close one than people think.
Yeah, man. I'm with Smooth on this, man. I think LSU, they come out and compete, man. They shook the world up once, beating Bama, man. I think they'll get a best shot to shake it up here. I don't think they'll achieve that. But I do think they come out and play hard and compete, man. Spread is 17.5. I think they keep it closer than that, man. Maybe a touchdown game, maybe 10 points, but it's gonna be closer than what people expect.
Damn. So nobody gonna do it, huh?
Nope.
Damn, y'all ain't gonna do it, huh? Well, get what then? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Oh.
I may be foolish doing it, but get what, fella? Something don't seem right, man. Georgia ain't finna go undefeated. No. Fellas, I don't think they can do it, man. I don't think they can go undefeated, but I think they're gonna win. They probably gonna win it all. They're gonna do somewhat they did when they did win it all. Lose the SEC championship and win the whole thing. And fellas, man, only reason they give me cause to pause is I was looking up earlier, man, and Daniels, the quarterback, is saying he may be hopeful. So yeah, he kind of got like a hot. He got a sprain. Yep, injured up during Texas A&M. So my whole deal is, man, if he play, matter of fact, let's cut that out because we know damn well he ain't gonna miss the damn SEC championship. If he do, it's a different breed.
Effective he is.
I'm telling you, he gonna be out there limping and all, fella. So if he can do it from the pocket, man, but he uses his legs so much, his legs is a weapon. So, fellas, man, I'm gonna go with LSU, and I'm only gonna go by 3. I feel like he's gonna have a big game. He gonna show up as in that 300-yard passer that he did a couple times when he did play well. I hope we get that version of Daniels instead of the Daniels that go out there and throw 70 yards and run probably 30 and get shut out. So I'm gonna go with the upset, and the only reason I'm going upset because I don't believe in Georgia going undefeated. That's the only reason why I'm going upset. It's more about Georgia then LSU. And I'm gonna go LSU with 3 points for the upset.
Man, so quick question. Before last week, was LSU still in the conversations to make the playoffs with 2 losses?
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So
They would have had to win this game.
They was in there, bro.
all right, so as players, dog, how tough is it? How tough is this week to come back off of a Texas A&M loss when you feel like, man, we got a chance to go to the playoffs this year, and you lose to A&M? Obviously, it's the SEC championship. We want to win this game, but man, you had bigger dreams. How difficult is this week for preparation? Because you only get 2 days to prepare. That's a quick turnaround. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a week off before the SEC championship. You gotta flip that switch. Can LSU prepare the right way? Are they, and that goes back to the head guy now. Is he gonna have those guys motivated to compete? Because I'm telling you, if you don't, Mark came in here the other week, man. He said them boys play like pirates, and I think that game against Tennessee they did, and I think you're gonna get the same Georgia that you saw against Tennessee for this game, man. So we'll see how it shake out. Man, UCF, the Gus Bus, old head coach, man. I was just talking about his book. With Bill. Him, UCF, I'm sorry, versus Tulane. Tulane was undefeated early in the season. First time in history that they was ranked, I think. This is another rematch, right? What we think there?
Man, I'm gonna go Tulane, man. I watched Tulane a couple times this year, man, and I think they do a better job adjusting as the game goes on. You know, they run the ball real well. They got a nice running back back there. I'm gonna go Tulane here, man. Tulane by let me say 7 with spread. Spread is -4, so Tulane is favored. They cover the spread. I'll give them a touchdown. Tulane by 7.
Tulane. Key thing is adjustments. Gus doesn't adjust. First time I watched the game, UCF was beating them down. I flipped the channel, turned back. It was a close game. I'm taking Tulane.
Fellas, I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier, man. I'm going Tulane. It's hard to beat a team twice. I don't care who the hell you is. If you're not Nick Saban, you beat no team 2 times. That's the way I feel about it, fella. And that's just long story short, short story long.
Hey, I'm going with the Gus Bus, UCF, for one reason, and that's the head guy. For some reason, man, I think Gus finds a way to win this game. Offensively, man, we all know when you play against Gus offense, your eyes can get you beat, man. And it only take a few plays. They can lull you to sleep. But if Tulane's eyes not right, man, they'll give up a few big plays. And that's what Gus thrives off of, catching those big plays to win the game. So I'm taking UCF here. Last game, what was it? 38-31. Yeah, I like UCF here.
Oh no, I'm having flashbacks. Auburn and Georgia in the SEC championship.
Hey, don't forget, you were part of the team that won. You beat South Carolina twice in the same year, man.
But that's South Carolina. I hate to say it.
And who do we have? Who do we have
Super Cam.
Come on, man. Hey, number 9 Clemson versus the Chiz, man. Chiz's defense, Gene Chizik, UNC. What do we think there? Man, Clemson just came off of a big upset. What do we think, Clemson versus UNC?
And they both come off an upset, man. Clemson got beat by South Carolina, and I watched the North Carolina State game. And NC State got those boys. So I think Clemson get it done, man. I don't know that North Carolina will make enough plays. I'm tempted to go UNC, man, because I'm just not sold on 5 for Clemson, man. DJ, I'm not sold on the guy, man. He it seemed like he's regressed. I hate to use that word, man, but I think he got a lot of hype when he filled in for Trevor. He just hadn't played enough ball, so they really didn't get to see the real version of him. I think seeing him play the duration of a season, you get to see who he really is. I don't believe in him, but I don't think North Carolina will make enough plays to win. So I'm gonna go Clemson. I'm gonna Clemson by 3, man.
I'm taking UNC. Their quarterback was damn near putting up Heisman numbers, man, as a redshirt freshman. So I'm gonna go with the team that has the better quarterback. UNC. Close.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Smooth. I'm with UNC, man. I don't believe in the head guy at Clemson, man. I don't know what's going on at Clemson. Some shaky going around with the program, you ask me. But I like UNC. You talked about the quarterback, man. They got a linebacker I like as well. I think he controls the defense as best they can. I know, again, defense has broke many times this season, but I think they got a linebacker who can call some plays out, kind of get guys where they need to be. So I'm taking UNC and Chiswick's D right here, man.
Yes.
Fellas, I'm not a believer in UNC, man. And Bill, I understand, and I feel you on that with DJ. I feel like he kind of, regressed a little bit, man. I was expecting him to do a lot better this year. But I feel like he's gonna end this year on a good note. Him and Shipley, that running back, nice running back. Feel like they're gonna get this win this week. And the whole Dabo thing, Dabo just don't seem like Dabo this year. What is it? So I feel you on that, man. Like, he got something going on right now, man. I don't know if he getting tired of everybody that got used to winning or whatever, the whole fan base with all that. I know he come out every now and then and say something about them. I don't know if it's the boosters, whoever it is, but Dabo just don't seem like Dabo. And Clemson feel like Dabo finna leave soon, or they finna go on their downhill spiral right now. Just as them not being the new Clemson as we see.
I think what a lot of people aren't talking about is when Clemson was going on their run, man. They didn't have a coach. When I talk about a coach leave from an OC perspective and a DC, they didn't have a coach leave. He's lost Brent and he lost Tony Elliott. So it may not be a Dabo thing. It may have to do with the people that's around him. When we talk about, you gotta have the right people around. So ain't nobody talking about that. That ain't hit the media headlines. But hey, we see Clemson struggling, and the defense ain't been what the defense been, and the offense ain't been what the offense been. So that's just a little something for y'all to think about, man.
Don't worry, Venables finna be right back over
there. Now, Bill, but you're right on that. You're right on that, Bill. Because it's a lot of coaches that when they get job opportunities and stuff like that at Clemson, they turn them down just to stay at Clemson, just to work for them. Even some of their support staff and everybody that they really love working for Dabo in that organization. And the crazy thing about it, when you said that about Venable, yeah.
Yeah. You about to get out of there.
Yeah. And another thing, Venables will get more time than you'll get at a place like Auburn. He'll get more than 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, so what we
them
think?
Boys are getting beat 40-0, bro.
He'll get more time.
What we think? What we think to finish this up? Playoff prediction, man. Who's in? Who's out? I think it's up in the air. You got a lot of. This week is going to determine a lot, as far as who gets in. Who y'all thinking?
Can't call it, bro. Can't call it. We got a lot of underdogs winning.
Yeah, man.
Can't call it, bro.
You got the just say TCU does lose to K-State, right? Now you got a 2-loss Bama team sitting at 6, right? how far does TCU drop? Just losing to a top 10 team. You know what I'm saying? If LSU loses, they're not going no further than 4, right? So they'll be at that 4 spot, and they'll find a way to get in and probably win it. But that's a lot of components, man. I think TCU lose, they out. Bama is like the Dallas Cowboys of college football. They'll put them in. It'll be some crazy things going down, man. So I said TCU loses, you get Bama in. So you have Georgia,
Michigan.
Michigan, you have Georgia and USC playing, and then you have Michigan and Bama playing.
I think this is the most unpredictable college playoff there has been so far, really, because it's not a landslide. Like, it's some teams that can get beat.
Yep.
Like, niggas will really be watching to see who get in, like, this time. It won't be like, oh, we know when. I think it's very unpredictable. And I like it that way.
I feel like a two-team championship right now. Like, these the only 2 teams that are gonna win it, and that's Michigan and Georgia. And I feel like the committee and whoever it is that's in charge of everything, they looking for an excuse to keep TCU out. So if TCU even make a close game, they may get out.
No.
I think it's better for college football if TCU make it, because they tired of seeing the same teams in it. I think as a big picture standpoint, I think it's better for TCU to be in than it is Alabama.
I think you get what you earn. You get what you earn. If TCU wins this game, they've earned to be.
Oh, they'll be in.
They'll be in.
I still don't see them, their schedule though, man. Their schedule just don't add up compared to the
question. If USC beat Utah by 14, TCU wins by 3. Do they flip flop positions, or do they stay 3 and 4?
You got to stay 3 and 4. I think
he said flip flop. He said stay.
Stay. You got to stay. You got to stay. And I want to say this: I don't think USC should make the playoffs regardless.
Ooh.
Nah, that's a money thing. They need USC in there.
But when you talk about strength of schedule, I wouldn't put a USC in front of an Ohio State right now. Ohio State is a 1-loss team, correct?
Yeah.
USC is
to Utah.
Utah came out as number 17.
Number 7?
Mm-hmm.
They came out number 7.
Where are they at right now?
They like
what?
14?
Okay. Yeah, they're down. The Michigan is an undefeated team at 2 right now. I think that Ohio State lost to Michigan weighs tons versus a USC loss to Utah. I don't see.
But if USC win a championship, nah, bro.
I just don't see how. I know I'm with. That's what's gonna happen, but I don't see.
Yeah, and then you got to look at how the season. I mean, how the year has went. You know, with teams losing that you thought was gonna be in. Then, like you said, they win. They got a Heisman Trophy win on their team.
Yeah.
How can you keep them out?
Definitely got to be in that playoff.
How can you keep them out?
They lost to Utah.
You can't keep them out. Look at Utah, man.
Dude, Utah in the championship.
You see what I'm saying?
Michigan beat the doors off Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah, they did.
Man.
All right, there it is, man. One more rivalry.